Our next keynote speaker is joining us from the USA. Serena Sacks-Mandel, the Global Chief Technology Officer for Education at Microsoft, will fill us in on the topic of generative AI in education. Ms. Sacks-Mandel, first, welcome to Croatia, and then my apologies for taking your time, but I hope you saw Boris' presentation and you know why we are a bit late. So we are ready for you to start. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful presentation, and you'll see some of the same themes in mine. I'm Serena Sacks-Mandel. I'm the Global Chief Technology Officer for Education at Microsoft. And like Boris, I'm very passionate about educational technology and also believe that at this age of generative AI, it's our humanness that is most important. And that's what we need to preserve in our schools while we reform them. So let me talk a little bit about generative AI and in education. And I just want to say, just a couple of weeks ago, I was in Croatia. I'm sorry we couldn't make this timing work, but I went to the beaches in Split and the mountains in the Krika Falls and Zagreb. And it's a beautiful, beautiful country. And best of all, the people were just absolutely wonderful. So thank you for that. And I put on here, so empower every learner and educator on the planet to achieve more is our mission. And my LinkedIn QR code is there if you want to connect with me. So very much like Boris was saying, schools underwent an extensive digital transformation during the pandemic. And although there were challenges, it was a pandemic, and the teachers and students, everyone had to change on a dime. People were not prepared to do remote learning. But there were silver linings. Students that might have been more shy actually felt better about talking on camera behind a screen. There was, as a tech specialist and coach, the biggest positive was the incredible desire of teachers to try new things. So we've advanced the use of technology in positive ways. So we don't necessarily want to go back to the pandemic, but we don't want to go back to how it was before the pandemic either. And there are so many reasons to keep moving forward and take advantage of technology while we improve the personalization of education. So Satya is our CEO. And I love this quote: "There's no better time to reimagine education and how technology can support that transformation." And that's what we're going to talk about. So as the global CTO, I do travel all over the world, and I talk to people, thought leaders, educators, ministries of education, and students and teachers as well. And I talk to them all the time and form opinions and points of view on what is impacting the world of education. And I'd like to share these 6 trends, and I'll go into each of them briefly because I don't have a ton of time. So first, accessible, flexible, equitable digital learning environment. So a lot of words in there, and a lot of this came out of the pandemic, that we need our teaching and learning to be accessible to all learners, to be flexible and more personalized.
Sorry, Serena, just a short question. I know you have a presentation. If you would like to share it, you can share it now, yeah?
Thank you for letting me know.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm only a few slides in, but thank you. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes, just widen it a bit, please. Full scale.
Okay. You know what? Let me this. Let me know when you can see it.
Can I ask you how is the weather?
Is that better?
Yeah, this is great. Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
So sorry about that. Let me just go back and just quickly, I am so sorry. So this is my QR code for LinkedIn, if you want to take a picture of that. Give it a second. And then this was how the digital transformation of education, and how there were positives in the pandemic, that teachers evolved their methods and students adapted there was really a lot of good news there. And then we can't go back to the way things were. We need to move forward. 77% of teachers believe that the technology will help them be more effective, and 71% of principals think there's great value in digital tools. So, and then this is Satya, our CEO, and his quote. So hopefully we're caught up, and I'm just going to go through these 6 trends. So the first one was the accessible, flexible, equitable digital learning environments. The second is data analytics and AI for productivity and student success. So during the pandemic, the question kept being asked, how are students engaged? Are students learning? What data can we see? And this was fantastic because even though we may not have had all the data at that point, it sparked the knowledge and the quest for data and analytics so that we can see how our students are doing. Now that we have the age of generative AI, we can actually use AI to help us understand the data, to improve productivity for our educators, and help identify students at risk or where students need to catch up and help them to be more successful. Number 3 is cybersecurity and threat prevention. Education is the most attacked industry in the world, more so than any other. And it is super important that we stay on top of the cybersecurity and preventing threats. I'm not going to go deeply into this, but I want to just point out, because this focus is AI, but AI is also used for security and analyzing threats. And then AI, AR, VR, immersive experiences, and gamification. Once again, using AI to help students learn. 5 is application infrastructure and modernization. I'm not going to go deeply into this either, but we are using AI on our back office applications as well. And then finally, certifications and skilling for educators and learners and workforce readiness. So we need our students to learn the new technologies so that they are workforce ready. And therefore, we need our educators to learn more about AI to help our students become certified and workforce ready. So globally, we are being called to re-envision education. And how can we meet the moment? And once again, it's highly technical, but then it's also a need for our deep humanity to be nurtured and students to learn critical thinking skills, relationship skills, conflict management skills, all kinds of human things while they become certified and ready for the workforce. So AI is part of every education. So Microsoft has been using AI for decades. AI has actually been around since the 1950s. It's only since last year that generative AI has hit the mainstream and become more democratized. So one of the ways that Microsoft has already been using AI is in our learning accelerators. We have foundational tools that help increase reading fluency, help students learn English, and comprehension. Numeracy, we have a math coach, math progress and math coach. And well-being, so understanding how students are feeling, and that gives teachers fantastic information. With just a little smiley face, even young students can indicate how they're feeling. And since we've been in the pandemic, we see a much more openness to express how are we feeling and how are we doing, and get help. Future ready skills, search progress and search coach, so tools to help students become AI ready and able to use AI in a safe, effective way. And then even more important is the presentation, speaker progress, and speaker coach. And then overriding all of this is our education insights. It's the data behind everything that the students are doing to help them succeed. So data analytics and AI for education helps our organizations maximize the value of the data, obtain actionable insights with data analysis and reporting, and develop learner analytics to enable personalized instruction and experience for students. So we can actually use AI to help predict success, to help identify students at risk, and help them overcome challenges. And we can personalize our instruction so that each student has the material that they need, when they need it, and how they learn best. So this is an example of a predictive model that is being used in a school district in the US. So this one in particular is an overview of chronic absenteeism, and it looks at schools and where the challenges are. So if you're an educational leader, you can use data and analytics to see where the challenges are and then address them. Next, we recently introduced Microsoft Fabric. So data analytics has been challenging to harness all of your data from all your different applications, but with Fabric, it all sits under one umbrella. So much like Microsoft 365 has Excel and PowerPoint and Word, Fabric has Data Factory, data engineering, Power BI. So it has governance and security and analytics built in one place. And most importantly, there's one copy of the data. Data is pulled from wherever it is, whether it's on-premise or other clouds or applications. We can pull the data and get these insights out of it. But in order to get ready for this, there's a lot of foundational work that needs to be done. And regarding generative AI, I'm sure you've all heard of OpenAI at this point. And I just want to clarify that OpenAI is a separate company than Microsoft. Microsoft has invested in OpenAI, and we have helped to nurture and develop generative AI and the tools that OpenAI is coming out with. And we've also adopted them. And all of the OpenAI tools run on the Azure backend, which is Microsoft. So what can we do with these services? The difference with generative AI is that we're creating new content. So previous versions of AI were assessing and analyzing existing data and content, and machine learning coming out with predictions or analysis or showing us what happened. Generative AI is actually creating content, whether it is written content, code generation, image generation, creating questions for a quiz, creating research, or summarizing. It's actually looking at things and creating something new. That's why it's generative. I want to emphasize that Microsoft's commitment to responsible AI is its differentiator. Fairness, reliability and safety, privacy and security, inclusiveness, transparency, and accountability. These are the principles for AI that Microsoft lives by, and every product that we produce adheres to these responsible principles. And so when you're using Microsoft's AI, you can feel safe and comfortable that your data is your data, that you have complete privacy and security. Microsoft runs on trust. This is one of the reasons I'm with Microsoft, because I'm very proud of our responsible AI development and our overall commitment to trust and our customer obsession. So our mission is to empower everyone to achieve more, and we build our products and services with security, privacy, compliance, and transparency in mind. So there are a lot of forms of AI, like I mentioned, and we use the cognitive services, vision, speech, language, decision, and now OpenAI to create complete picture of our data, of our information, and to customize the output. So this is an overview of the products that Microsoft has related to AI. So technology, AI technology is here, and the question is, how do we harness the power of AI for education while mitigating any concerns and risks? So you may have seen lots of headlines in the last year about AI, generative AI, and some districts, some schools like New York City very publicly banned ChatGPT. They banned AI initially this year in January. And Microsoft came in and spent a lot of time. New York City is the largest public school district in the US. We spent time with them understanding their concerns, addressing them, and helping them harness the power of generative AI in the classroom. And so just a week ago, there was a newspaper's article that they are now harnessing it for good. And so you can't ban AI. AI is like electricity. It's embedded in so many tools and products. You can't ban it. And if you do, then you're just putting your head in the sand because our students are already using it. So we need to set guidelines and policies so that AI is used safely and productively. But most importantly, we need to help our educators and our staff and our faculty leverage AI so that it helps them and so that they can adjust their educational methods to accommodate the new reality. So a brief history of AI. As I said, AI has been around since the 50s, and it was called artificial intelligence then. And then machine learning evolved that was focused on data and analytics. And then in about the 70s, deep learning became available. And then recently is generative AI. So these are the different forms of artificial intelligence. In education, we see a lot of opportunities to harness AI. First, we should focus on productivity and efficiency to create and customize content for lessons plan. We can use generative AI to generate a syllabus, generate outlines for educating. And obviously, we don't want to just take whatever we get from AI, but it's a start. It makes it easier to do things. It's faster. We can enhance our support services, unlock productivity, and automate processes. Once our educators and our staff are more comfortable, then it makes sense to use AI to accelerate learning, to engage learners, to understand where they are, to personalize the learning as we've been talking about, and improve accessibility for all learners. And of course, we need to build AI literacy for the staff, equip the students with the skills that they need for their future of work, and defend at machine speed. So defend for security and protect our data. So AI is incredibly useful in education, and rather than be afraid of it, we need to be cautious, but harness the power. So simplified and secure and inclusively designed. This is Microsoft's AI capability wheel. So Miami-Dade, the superintendent of Miami-Dade saw huge potential for generative AI when it first came out, and they are adopting it, and they're using it to help educators teach more effectively. And UAE, the United Emirates, they are using AI for personalization of tutoring and helping students catch up or get ahead. Recently, we introduced Bing Chat Enterprise. This enables all customers with Microsoft 365, A3, and A5 licenses free access to Bing Chat Enterprise, which uses ChatGPT underneath. And the important thing about the enterprise is that your data is not saved, the organization is protected, and it is not used to train the model. So that's what enterprise is. When you're in your tenant, it is only your data, and it is not being used by the rest of the model. And just a quick summary. So Bing Chat is personal, and that's on a non-Microsoft A3 or A5 tenant. That's a personal one. And that does get used to continue to train the LLM. Bing Chat Enterprise at Work has all of the data protection we just talked about. And soon, we hope to see Microsoft 365 Copilot, which will use your graph data and protect even more so. And across all the 365 apps, we'll have that generative AI layer. So we're looking forward to having that, and hopefully that will come out early in 2024. I want to go back to the technology and human skills. So there was an extensive survey done of leaders and employees, and they were asked what skills are required for this new AI era. And if you look at these skills, oh, they didn't all come out. I apologize, some of these aren't coming out, but it's the only one that is technical is the lowest one. All of the others are critical thinking and reasoning and creativity and self-management and influence. So we need deeply human skills to be effective in the AI era. And we see that in LinkedIn, that 79% of the increase in job postings mention GPT in LinkedIn, and there's 33 times more LinkedIn posts mentioning generative AI. So that's proof that we need to help our students become workforce ready with AI. So future skills, we have tools and certifications for all students at all levels to spark the curiosity, develop their productivity, and improve their employability through generative AI. And I will send this PowerPoint, this presentation, to the organizers of the group so that you all have access to it. And these are tools, resources to become trained on generative AI. This is where we're at today. We need to help our educators and our students learn more about generative AI. So in closing, the pathway to the new technologies requires a parallel investment in skills and development to make sure people have the requisite skills to participate in an increasing digital society. And not only digital, but now generative AI. So I'll happy to take questions now if anybody has any.
Thank you, Serena. Great innovations, great tools for making us more future-proof.